My name is Meek. I'm on the product team here at Hotelier, and today we're introducing our newest product, DigiPay, the all-in-one accounts payable automation solution designed specifically for hotels. These new workflows simplify the managing of your hotel's vendors, invoices, and payments. Simply upload or forward your bills electronically, and our system will verify the accuracy, route them to the right team members for approval, and even pay your vendors online and on time, while seamlessly integrating with your existing accounting software. No more wasted time cutting and mailing checks. DigiPay streamlines your accounts payable processes, freeing you up to focus on delivering exceptional guest experiences. Let's get started. First up, I'm going to log into the Hotelier platform and I'm going to navigate to the vendors area. This is where a user would navigate to either add vendors, update configurations, address and contact information for a vendor, as well as search through and get a bird's eye view of the vendor from both the portfolio or hotel levels. We've conveniently placed the month to date and year to date total spend right on the first screen so that you can get an understanding of how much you're spending with each vendor. I'm going to go ahead and click here to add a new vendor. Anybody on property who you give access to will be able to add in vendors. So if you're working with, as an example, a local plumber, you might either the GM or the engineering director add in this vendor. Based on whether this is a individual or a business, it will change between a social security number or an EIN. So I'm going to go ahead and click through here and add all the basic contact information, phone number, an email address, name of the contact at the particular vendor. We also have an area for notes. It's really important sometimes to take notes on these vendors. In many cases, our hotels are part of a portfolio and the approval process actually goes above property. It's really easy to put in notes here and capture them. We've also got an area for attachments, and you'll be able to attach the vendor agreement here so that whoever is receiving invoices or approving invoices has an idea of what the agreement entails. Down below, you'll also be able to select which hotels this particular vendor is enabled for. This makes it very easy if you're managing a portfolio to create a vendor that will be captured for all your hotels if you're all using the same vendor. Next up are the workflows. Workflows are one of the most powerful features within DigiPay. It's very configurable and it allows you to create a workflow for your approvals that meets your needs. Instead of having to print out the invoice and have the engineering manager sign off on the plumbing, you can automate that through emails and alerts as well as through the system to make sure that an invoice is routed to everyone's desk and that everybody that needs to get eyes on it and is able to sign electronically with a time and date stamp. It also reinforces the approval process so that if invoices are going to a corporate office, everyone on property that is meant to see the bill sees it and signs off on it before it goes up to the accounting team. These particular workflows can be unique per property, or as you can see, I'm going to apply this particular workflow to all three of my demo hotels because they all have a very similar approval process. They have the same approvers in the workflow. I'm going to select who can create the bills, meaning who's able to even input invoices. I only want my director of engineering inputting invoices for my hotel. I only want the housekeeping manager to input invoices to the hotel. I'm going to select myself as the person who's going to be creating the bills for review. I'm going to select Brian, who is in this case, our regional operations manager, who will need to review each invoice before approval is given by Aparna. In this case, I'm going to set it up so that any invoices over $5,000 needs to be approved by our director of regional operations. That way someone else takes a look before we go ahead and pay it. Everybody else in the typical workflow might be able to approve up to $4,999, but if it hits that threshold, I want an extra set of eyes on it. So the last step is who actually pays the bills. Typically, this will be someone in the accounting office. In this case, we're gonna go ahead and set up Ninu to do that. She will have the ability to actually pay the invoice. With our partnership and integration with Repay, we are actually able to pay the vendor on the hotel's behalf through this workflow, making sure that everyone at the organization has visibility, that it's auditable with timestamps, and that everyone had a chance to take a look at these bills before they're paid. The next step is to actually upload some bills. You have three options. You can either upload from the computer right from here, you can drag and drop right into this area, or you can just forward an email. The invoices will come into the system and begin moving through the approval workflow. Okay, so let's take a quick look at what that workflow looks like as the invoices start to come into the system. We'll start to see invoices populate in the draft tab. And as you can see up at the top, we've got draft, pending review, pending approval, pending payment. You can check payment status once an invoice has been checked for payment. Or if anything's been rejected, you can go here and see who rejected it and why. So let's walk through it. The draft comes in, and the next person in the workflow, the person who's supposed to review them, would go in, double check the invoice. You can see you can zoom in and double check that all the line items are the right amounts. All this gets pre-populated, by the way. One of the main things to do though is to double check that your coding is set up just right. So you can actually now, and this is a new feature to DigiPay, start to code invoices by item to specific GL accounts in your accounting system. And if we can recognize the item number on the next invoice, we will automatically populate the GL account. So this total sync might always go to this particular chart of account 10002. This is just an example. And the next time that this plumber sold us a total sync, it would automatically populate the $500 to total sync in the 10002. GL account is, okay, the first person in the workflow, the reviewer, has reviewed and said, okay, Stanford Plumbing and Heating sent us the right invoice. I agree with all of these charges. It is all the services and items they provided to the hotel. The next person in the workflow, if you remember, was the reviewer. They would go in here and click review. They also get a very similar view. They can edit or update any of the coding or make sure that it was done right. They select submit, and it will move it on to the next part of the workflow, to the next step in the workflow. At this point, the approver, since it's under $5,000, would go in here and approve. If it was over $5,000, then the person who needs to approve, when they log in, they would see it as something that they would need to approve as well. Now, it's at this point that someone could reject. You could also edit it again. You can move the bill to a different location. You can turn it into a draft again or move back to review, or you can go ahead and approve. And then after that, you'd get to a pending payment status. So this is where whoever is responsible for actually paying the bills, Stanford and Plumbing and Heating, okay, it's gone through, it's been input into the system, it's been reviewed by someone, it's been approved by someone, and all the coding is there. I should be safe to pay it. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna hit pay down here. You will see what status that particular invoice is in. It'll be paid, you'll have the payment method there. Now, part of this payment flow is that you can pay in bulk. Once everyone's done all their work and coding and updated all the invoices and gotten through the approval workflow, the last person in that chain, the person that pays the bills, could come through here and pay a whole bunch of bills in one workflow. And that's one of the benefits of DigiPay. So thank you for the time today. I hope this introductory demo was helpful. Please contact us for a more in-depth demo and to see what DigiPay can do for your organization.